Welcome. How is everybody doing? We're live. It's nice to see you guys. Let me put names up here for the fact that we've got obviously somebody new. So I'm Jason. Jonathan is number 2 over there. We've got Colton and 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡𝗦. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘's first time with us.
Thank you very much for having me, for willing to embrace me, to accept me to this very important welcoming bunch.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to regret it.
Yeah.
Instantly. How you guys been this week? And who do we have in the audience? Let's see. We've got 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡, and Colton is also out there asking who's here. How you guys been?
Good. Pretty good.
Anything you are excited about, want to share?
We should share. Nathanael wanted to know about us before, but you wanted to go through the verse.
Oh, well, it's kind of important. Okay, we'll say something short about yourself. We don't have the benefit of this week is we got 5 verses to cover. Nathanael pointed out to us that 43 is supposed to go with 42 because they're kind of like Psalm 1 and 2 that are a unit that we covered together as a unit, but we didn't cover these ones as a unit this week. If anybody read ahead.
We have a new person.
So we're going to cover chapter 43, but it's really short. So if you want to, let us know something about yourself, introduce yourself. That's great.
New person.
Hi, Robbie. Welcome.
Okay, so as I'm the new person, I'll introduce myself. Nathanael Barak, born and raised here in Israel, live in Israel. A teacher of biblical Hebrew, Hebrew Bible. Married, father of 6.
Father of 6.
Father of
Holy
6.
Heck.
Holy heck, right.
By the way, he mentioned that before when we were talking.
I didn't.
In Israel, you say like nasui plus echad plus shtayim.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's a regular way of presenting.
He said married plus 6.
Yeah.
And I think that went over your head. Married plus 6. What he meant was married with 6 children.
Oh, Nathanael, do you know Adele?
Adele? Yes.
Adele.
Yes,
Adele.
I think that I had the pleasure of teaching Adele in the past.
Yeah.
Cool.
What, do you work with eTeacher?
No. I used to many years ago, several years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah. I used to work with them. I've been independent for several years. Adele is a physician, so if something happens, there is someone to take care of us. Don't worry, guys. There is a doctor in the crowd.
Indeed. Indeed.
A real doctor, not like the Bible
He
doctor.
also helps us out with Arabic stuff.
Oh, right. He also a native Arabic speaker, which is, I love it when I have students who are native speakers of other Semitic languages, which is usually Arabic, but it may be. I had native Aramaic speakers as well in the past. Kind of native,
Native Aramaic speaker?
Not really like people who come from churches whose prayer language, so not really native or from communities that still practice or speak Aramaic. You know that there are some native Aramaic speakers around the world.
Yes, but not many. That's why I was surprised.
Not many.
Yeah. So far I see in the live audience we've got Kirkpatrick, we've got Robbie who's new, we've got Adel and Muriel, and there should be 2 other people out there that haven't identified yourself. So if you want to,
Jason's
and you want anything to say,
people to talk.
Yes. Like I said, our chapter today is really short, so we do have time to just chat it out a little bit. Nathanael lives not far from me. I live in Tel Aviv. He lives not far away.
Gedera is like the southern edge of the Tel Aviv country. They call it the state of Tel Aviv, which stretches from Gedera in the south all the way to Hadera in the north. And that's the main part where most people in Israel live. If I take if I go south, when I exit Gedera, I have to take my passport with me. Not really.
Where I live, they say that if you go to Yigal Allon, you have to take your passport.
Right. but you are really in the center of Tel Aviv.
Yeah. So I've been in Israel for 17 years. Most of you guys already know me, of course, but I teach through the Hebrew Cafe with Jonathan, who can introduce himself to those who are new. Robbie?
I just finished my 3rd master's degree in May in Hebrew Bible from Hebrew Union College. So I am hopefully between relaxing and studying for PhD stuff. That's the goal. We'll see. We'll see if I get in. It's a tall order.
Batzlacha. Good luck.
Thanks.
Colton, what about you?
Yeah, so my name's Colton. I live in Kentucky currently in the U.S. So, but I teach. I'm the community manager for Biblingo, and so I do a lot of stuff where I'm teaching cohorts and leading reading groups and that kind of thing for the Biblingo, for a Biblingo Accelerator subscribers. And so that's what I do full time, and I love it. It's a good time. Just got done with the cohort before hopping on here today. So,
well, if anybody's over there in Biblingo land and wants to join us, they're welcome to join us too, for free. Biblingo is a fantastic program, by the way.
Yeah, I think Joseph will join us shortly, and so both him
and
Kevin
accepted me on Facebook, so I'm hoping he watches and thinks about offering me a job. That would be fun.
Well, this is chapter 43 of the Psalms, and we're just going to jump in. There's not too much to cover. So who wants... I figure since Nathaniel is our guest, officially guest, then he can start reading the verse and go through what it means.
Right. Yeah, it's a little bit odd to start, as I said, in 43 and not 42, because these are originally one psalm, but that's it. It was divided at a certain point, and we'll start 43:1. So, Shofteni Elohim v'riva rivi migoy lo chasid mi'ish mirma ve'avla tefalleteni. So, Shofteni, judge. Literally, the root is Shin Pei and Tet, which has to do with judgment. But Shofteni Elohim is here not so much to judge, but adjudicate my case, vindicate me. Veriva rivi, take up my legal claim. Riv is oftentimes a legal claim, specific legal dispute and so forth, and we have the Shin Pei Tet and Reshut Bet as parallel terms in many other instances. I've mentioned the Haftarah that we just had, the selected reading that we do on synagogues of the week before last, that had Yatom lo yishpotu v'riv almana lo yavo aleihem. They do not vindicate the orphan, and the claim of the widow does not appear before them, does not come before them in Isaiah 1:27. So Shofteni Elohim v'riva rivi is the parallel here, Shofteni and riva rivi. And the second half of the verse, the second hemistiche, baikola, I don't know which terms you use on like usual discussions, or even
bicola for Americans.
Bicola, okay. There's so many
bicolon, actually, singular, right?
Oh, you okay, yeah. Migoy lo chasid, mi'ish mirma ve'avla tefalleteni. Goy lo chasid. The word goy is only a Gentile in post-biblical Hebrew when it refers to an individual who's not Jewish. In biblical Hebrew, goy usually means a nation. Actually, statistically, even oftentimes the nation of Israel. Okay, but here it is obviously either a person or a group of people. Goy can be a group of people that are lo chasid, not righteous, but not in the sense of not being righteous. He's okay, he's not righteous, obviously, in the sense that is parallel to me'ish mirma ve'avla tefalleteni. You can see the preposition min preceding both the word goy, thus migoy, and me'ish, obviously with the slight changes, because before an aleph we don't see the dagesh in the aleph, and we see the lengthening of the vowel preceding it. So me'ish rather than min ish, but it's still the parallel term. Goy lo chasid, and ish mirma ve'avla, a man of deceit and injustice. Tefalleteni, that is the second person masculine singular with the first person common singular object suffix of pei lamed and tet in the pl binyan. What else?
And what's the infinitive?
Right, the infinitive that I'm leaving for you guys. Right. So me'ish mirma and goy lo chasid, while they are singular in form, they might refer to a group of people. Hebrew is very commonly referring to the collective noun in the singular, and just examples that everybody remember. Betoch etz hagan, amidst the trees of the garden, when Adam is hiding from God.
Yeah.
Or vayitperu ale te'ena, a fig leaf. You see the illustrations with a individual,
A single leaf.
right? A single leaf. It's really a collective noun. Ale. Only in late biblical Hebrew do we have alim as in the plural. So
Yeah.
that's verse 1.
Yeah. I would like to add just that we take from this word, like lefalet is the infinitive, but in modern Hebrew, of course, it's like filleting fish, like lefalet et adam. But we take from it plitim,
Right.
people that have run away and are what's the word, refugees in another place, right?
We have
So
that
it's,
in Genesis 14, vayavo hapalit vayaged laAvraham ha'ivri, and I also think that we have it in, that's the word that is used in 1 Samuel in regards to the refugee that comes and lets Eli know about the defeat of Israel against the Philistines, where his sons are killed and the ark of the Lord is taken.
Yes, you are correct. It's
Nice.
also in yeah. You're right. 1st and 2nd Samuel, and I think Ezekiel, the refugees, the exiles.
Right.
As far as the word
I mean,
chassid is concerned,
it's not the word for exile, but it's used synonymously with exile, right?
Exile, yeah, but not in earlier books.
No, just in Ezekiel.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of Ezekiel because I just took a class.
Right.
No,
Ezekiel.
it's not Ezekiel. I'm wrong. It's in Jeremiah, maybe?
No, you're right. There is a Jeremiah, both Jeremiah and Ezekiel.
Right, okay.
Like that, but in Ezekiel, it might be more like an exile. And in Jeremiah, I think it's more in the refugee sense of someone who was spared on battle and was able to kind of flee by the skin of their teeth.
Right.
Yeah.
I would bring up the idea that with the word chassid, there is if you've watched Schindler's List, the idea of the guy who saved so many Jewish lives. So there's the statement from the Talmud, right? Chasidei umot ha'olam yesh lehem chelek la'olam haba.
Right.
The righteous of all nations have a portion in the world to come, the next stage. That's
And
the word.
obviously in modern Hebrew, chassid olam means something very different than what this rabbinic source that was quoted means. The definition of chassid umot olam in Israel means someone who, under threat of life, without reciprocation or without reward, helped save people during the Holocaust. So that makes Schindler a chassid umot olam, and there are thousands of those recognized by Yad Vashem, again a biblical name, which is, anyway, I can talk endlessly, and then Jonathan will even hate me more than what was the basic level of hatred.
I do not hate you. I don't hate very many people. So
very good. I was just kidding.
Why not just say?
I actually do hate people. No, I'm just kidding.
Why not just say why negate it? But lo chassid. Why not just say like another word for like unrighteous?
Because that's what the writer chose to do.
Well,
Is
like, yes, I understand that.
Well, this is a common way of negating an adjective. It happens a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're saying like why say a sefer lo tov and a sefer ra, or not sefer but a sefer garua?
Yeah.
Like why is the book not good rather than bad?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
The
It
nation not righteous instead of the nation, rasha,
Yeah. It just seems
wicked.
interesting. It's just
You're right. It is unique in biblical. It is unique in the Bible. The lo hasid, this concept. It's a good question. I don't have a good answer off the top of my head. You're right. This could be just a matter of chance, but I don't have like it. It is interesting.
because I feel like
But it's also possible.
Because I would imagine with the setup that we have of like this very legal setup that there would be like a specific charge, and it could be that like he starts broad with this like lo hasid, and then he gets specific in the other two words, the of lat or avad, and the other word that's up there.
Okay. Believe
Right,
it
there
or
is-
not, we need to keep moving if we want
Yeah.
to finish this on time. We've spent 15 minutes on one verse.
Time. I didn't know. How long is this session?
This is an hour.
1 hour.
1 hour.
It's
Okay, 1 hour is just one verse. Okay, no.
All right. So who wants to take verse 2?
I'll go last.
All right.
I always go
I'll take
first.
number 2.
Yeah.
כי אתה אלוהי מעוזי, למה זנחתני, למה קודר אתהלך בלחץ אויב? Okay, כי אתה אלוהי מעוזי. Ma'oz is a refuge, strength, stronghold, something like that. It's from the word az, or az is strong and oz is strength. So the God of my refuge. You are the God of my refuge. Why have you zanachta oti? This is the first verse that I've seen in the Kal with liznoach, zanachta, instead of lazniach is what we use in modern Hebrew. But it's like you've left me, you've forsaken me. In modern Hebrew, it would be you neglected. Lazniach is to neglect. But it's like why have you walked away from me? You've let me be. Why? Lama. Koder is like dark or sad, something like this. Et halech. Why should I walk around gloomy and dark in the pressure of, or in the oppression of the enemy? Like the enemy is over me, and it's kind of like how people have felt in Israel, I think, since Iran started making their threats, that you can feel the pressure that something might happen, and it makes things just dark, and that's how you're walking around. At least that's how I would interpret it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Just about the zenachtani, you're right about modern Hebrew. I would say though it is the regular form for the kal all throughout the Psalms, and I think only in late biblical Hebrew you can find, or what seem, I don't want to say, because some portions of the Bible are questionable in regard to the classification of standard biblical Hebrew or late biblical Hebrew, but essentially I think there is a tendency in the later books towards the Hefil in this case.
I do see that there is Hefil. Let's look just at the Kal, see where they are.
What are you using there? Oh.
Logos. Hosea, Zechariah, Psalms. Quite a few in the Psalms, Lamentations. And let's see about Hefil.
Right.
First and Second Chronicles only.
Mm-hmm. And there is something in Isaiah which is questionably Hefil. In the earlier Okay, but that's questionably, as I said. So
Mhm. To reject or exclude from. Okay, very cool. Apart from that, any other comments, questions?
obviously, the contrast between Elohei Ma'uzi and the fact that now you have forsaken me. That's mentioning that God is not your God is my usual refuge, your usual strength, stronghold, and now I, you've forsaken me, and that creates that contrast. Um,
Hmm.
and last thing that is not related directly to the verse, I don't feel that gloom. There is nothing I can do about preventing Iran from doing whatever they want to do. So
No, I was for a while taking. I would pack a backpack with clothes and all that. I would take it with me to work every time I would go, just in case I needed to stay there for several days.
so take it
Uh,
just in case. Why did you have a backpack? Yeah,
because
just
I would be walking back and forth.
in case.
Um,
Oh, never mind.
in case
Yeah,
suitcase.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Another thing is that you can see a continuation from verse 1 where he's talking about the unrighteous nation and the man of deceit and injustice, and then here his enemy. I think that he's still talking about the same group, obviously, right? That he's feeling pressure from his enemies, whoever they were. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Verse 3. Who wants that?
That's
I'll do
Colton.
that.
I guess Colton, because Jonathan said he wants to go last.
I claimed it. Yep.
שלח אורך ועמיתך המה ינחוני. Sorry. יביאוני אל הר קודשך ואל משכנותיך. Okay. ואל משכנותיך. Okay. All right. Still wasn't
It's okay.
crazy. Still wasn't crazy about that. Send your light and your amit.
Oh, come on. What's Emet?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
And your truth. They and let them lead me, and let them bring me to the mountain of your holiness, into your dwelling places.
Okay. Mishkanotecha pops up in that Matovu.
right.
Matovu Olecha Yaakov. Right, and it ends with Mishkanotecha Yisrael.
Right, that's Numbers. מה טובו עליך יעקב משכנותיך ישראל, כנחלים ניטעו כגנות עלי נהר. Right.
So that word should somehow enter into your brain, Mishkanotecha.
Yeah.
You read Yanhuni as let them lead me, right? As a Joseph. Very nice. And Yevi'uni, let them bring me.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Yanhuni we saw in Psalm 23. Right? We had there was actually if you looked at when we looked at the apparatus, I think it's verses 3 and 4. This verse 3 says Yancheni, and then the textual apparatus for the last word in verse 4 Yanchuni.
Can I share a short story?
Sure.
Anyway,
As long as it's short.
it is short.
We're 3/5 of the way through now. We're not even halfway yet. Fine.
I'm also a tour guide. So I was with a professional tour guide, an expert on the Supreme Court. She took us through the Supreme Court, and she said that the designer of the Supreme Court had the concept of playing between the straight line and the circle line. Why? Because ma'aglei tzedek, the circles of righteousness. And I said to her, listen, I happen to be a teacher of biblical Hebrew. The architect knows nothing about the word ma'agal. does not mean like a
Circles.
circle. Yeah, it means a path or a road, something like. So the verse you've mentioned from Psalm 23 reminded me of how only an Israeli architect could make that mistake, because he thinks he knows biblical Hebrew, so he designed the Supreme Court based on a theme that doesn't exist because of his lack of understanding of biblical Hebrew.
That's funny. We try to talk sometimes about words that are used differently from biblical times and modern times, because that can lead to funny funny interpretations like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yanchuni, Yaviuni. All right. Great. Any questions or comments? Obviously, the word kodshecha or kodshecha is from kodesh. The first vowel is O, not A. It's not kadshecha, but kodshecha,
Right.
just like Colton said.
And you know that
Great.
Kodesh, if you've talked about the modern Israeli concept, how do you call Jerusalem in Arabic?
Quds.
Quds. Quds is the exact same Proto-Semitic pattern for Kodesh,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
Yep.
And what's interesting is that we actually have in the Psalm an indication that it might have been the name of Jerusalem as well. Yishlach ezrecha mi Kodesh umitzion yesa'deka. Right?
Wow.
Right?
Nice.
Right. So,
Because Tzion and Kodesh would be in parallel position,
Right.
chiastically.
right. And sure. And moreover, even Quds is, again, I'm not an expert on Arabic to that level, but Mukaddasa would be the expected. Okay. The holy one. But Quds is like, it doesn't make a little
As if
sense.
it were a proper name, yeah.
Right. So Kodesh, since I see that in the Psalms, in the parallelism of Yishlach ezrecha mi Kodesh umitzion yesa'deka, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
you can
does.
quit showing off now. I'm just kidding.
No, that's my usual.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm a
level.
very sarcastic person. I'm never. If I.
Jonathan, I love you. Never mind. You know, I'm having so much fun here with you.
Good. I'm glad you're having fun.
Listen, I don't
And-
always listen. I love my students, but they're not all teachers. So with you teachers, we can, go to the next level.
Yes.
Muriel
Thank
says
you,
that she's
Muriel.
really enjoying the discussion, and I agree. All right, Jonathan, we
Never
are
known.
at verse 4.
I've never known Jason to not enjoy a Hebrew discussion. That would be weird. I would be worried if he did.
It would be.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't anyone ever not enjoy Hebrew discussion? That's my question.
People that hate Hebrew would not. And there are a
Well, I
lot of
think it's
people that
funny.
do.
I think it's funny that we go on the nerdy language or biblical language majors and we invite people to come and be with us. And why don't they? Who would not want to just sit back and read some Bible together in Hebrew?
People that don't like it.
Yeah.
Trust me, in America there are many. American seminary students.
Wow, that's really sad news to hear, honestly.
It shouldn't be news. People don't learn how to read, therefore they suck, therefore they hate it.
Well,
it's usual
all right.
to lot
And
things.
Kevin recently, Kevin Grasso has been talking a lot about the meaning of reading and what it is and its benefits.
I know, I like the guy.
From Biblingo, you should, if you guys are out there and you don't listen to the Biblingo podcast stuff, you're missing out. Like, it's really, really good stuff. So go check them out on YouTube.
I don't have to do plugs because you all do it for me. I know that's the best part. It's almost like when the content's good, you don't have to force people to plug stuff.
That's right.
But it's whatever.
Colton, send me a link of the podcast you have.
I will. I'll send you the podcast and I'll send the larger website. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah, they're wonderful. All right, Jonathan, you are up for verse 4.
Yep, it's that time. And I'm going to do something crazy when I get to translating too. So,
are you going to dance?
El mizbeach Elohim el שמחת גילי, ועודך בכינור Elohim Elohai. So I'm going to continue the thought so I can catch this is a first person jussive or a cohortative for you traditionalists. So I want to do it as so that I might go to the altar of God. That's how I want to do it. Most of the translations just say, I looked at it, as then I will go, but that doesn't catch the jussiveness of it. It's a jussive because of the 𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗩𝗘, and I think the 𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗘 at the end, and I don't think first person jussives or cohortatives always have the 𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗘 on the end of it. But usually,
so if we look at together with the previous verse, where he's talking about God's light and truth, and he says, "Let them bring me to your holy mountain," and then it would make sense. Let them bring me that I might come.
But I'm disagreeing with the Sof Pasuk.
But if it's just like poetry, let them bring me and I will come. It could be either way.
Jonathan, why wouldn't it be cohortative or hortative in this case, not cohortative? But yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep, exactly. I mean, that's my thought. It could be wrong.
No,
but the cohortative.
Now that I agree with you, it's not wrong.
Oh, so your agreement is a requisite to being right?
That's the joke. Yeah.
He's going to replace me in my arrogance.
He may.
Oh, you were the arrogant guy? I didn't know. Had I known, I wouldn't have been.
So
like
Jason, I kind of doubt that, actually.
No, come on.
I'm on a roll
different
today,
kinds
folks.
of arrogance. That's the thing. Is like they can coexist. I'm just kidding.
They can complement each other.
Murray had a question here real quick.
In their own ways.
Murray had a question. Is it from deceitful and unjust man, as if the construct ish, mirma, ve'avla goes together, or from deceitful man and from injustice as a separate thing? I would read the construct, the head of the construct ish, covering both of the nouns, mirma ve'avla. The man is modified by both of them.
I agree with you, but the Te'amim suggest slightly differently. I agree with you. I think that ish, mirma, ve'avla can be read together, but the Te'amim suggest they're otherwise.
And it says that the Septuagint is it unambiguously opts for the first choice, that is the joining of the two. And then he continues, grammar allows both possibilities, right? Yes, it does. The disjunctive accent on deceitfulness captured my attention. Yes, that's what Nathaniel was mentioning, what he was talking about. Fantastic question. Thank you very much.
So we have, I will continue the thought, so that I might go to the altar of God, to the God of the rejoicing of my rejoicing. They both mean rejoicing. So probably emphatic, like to my exceeding joy, or my very, very joyfulness, or something like that. And then
what is Gili or Gili? What does that remind you of?
Nagila. Yep.
Nagila.
Yep.
Let's rejoice, right?
The Israelis are unaware of this being an Israeli song. Israelis, like bred and born Israelis, are sure this is a song of American Jews.
Really?
Really? I'll tell you, Jason,
Why?
Why? Because they don't know it was, written in Israel based on a Hasidic tune. They don't know that. It was so accepted by American Jewry and American life that they're certain if you get the Israeli cab driver, he would say, yeah, it's American Jews like this song,
They sang it when I made Aliyah, like when we came out of the doors of the airport. Everybody was outside singing, Wow, 2007, that's so long ago.
And the other funny story about this song is most people think that it says "Muchrachim liot sameach." You must. Didn't you know that so many people think it says "Muchrachim liot sameach"?
I didn't know that.
No, because you actually read the words and you have and you uru achim belev sameach. Nobody uses uru in modern Hebrew, right? So muchrachim liot sameach, muchrachim liot, something like that.
That's crazy. I never thought about that. I'm going to think that from now on, though. That's going to be stuck in my head.
Yeah, they say.
I feel that way. I have to say that I feel that way when it comes to holidays.
That's like, right. They say uru, don't they?
Right.
And that doesn't happen in the Bible.
Oh, no, uru is in the Bible.
Uru. You've got uri. You've got uri. You've got the imperative. Okay. I don't know if you have it in the plural, but you do have it as an imperative.
But I feel that way about religious holidays. That sometimes I don't feel like being happy. But the holiday says you have to be happy on this day.
Jason, do you ever feel like being happy, you cynical freak?
But that's the idea. The question that does the Torah command you emotionally, or does it command you to behave in a certain way? Is the command?
So some days it's like I'm having an excellent day, but it's Yom Kippur. I have to be sad. It's like.
Oh, Yom Kippur is the happiest day on the Jewish calendar. The Mishnah says that there were no better days, joyous days for Israel than the 15th of Av, which we just celebrated, and Yom HaKippurim. It is Mishnah, going 1800 years ago. By the way, I accidentally went for a walk yesterday to 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡 and Namal Tel Aviv, and I was shocked by how many people were out. And I'm a person who tries to avoid crowds as much as possible, and because I like the quiet, but it was too much. I was there for like 15 minutes sitting in the Namal, and I just got up and left. Because it was
too bad. I know. So anyway, great. Let's try to finish up the verse.
Academic folks, anyway. How long does it take for you to get your freaking diploma? I graduated May, June, July, August, over 3.5 months ago, and I still haven't gotten it yet. I'm not even sure if I graduated. What's the deal with people being so?
There were people for you to talk to.
Oh,
why didn't you write an email to the university?
HUC is a dumpster fire right now. I forgot about that. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. So you said El Simchat Gilim.
Yes, the God of my exceeding rejoicement, or something like that. And then, so how would you take this? It's another 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡, or sorry, 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗥𝗡 form. So again, consequential or not, depending if you want to. I would do that I might go.
𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥 isn't go.
Or I'm sorry, that I might praise. Sorry. That I might praise with the harp or zither or whatever it means. Nobody knows, really. But you've got what those Latin gurus call the bet instrumentalis with the harp.
Or the lyre.
God, my God. And then 2, what do we call those? We call those vocatives. Or the first one is a vocative anyway. When a noun follows a noun.
No. Oh, yeah, because I'll give thanks to you, right? Mm-hmm. I will give thanks to you.
Oh, God, my God.
Yeah.
Right. The Elohim Elohai, which is the Elohist Psalterian, right?
Mm-hmm.
You recognize that this is not a regular, normal biblical Hebrew. You would expect Elohim Adonai, not Elohim Elohai.
Right.
But this is the Elohist Psalterian.
I wonder what that tells you about the sequence of this psalm, like the dating. Would it be early or late? Probably early.
Yeah, there are discussions about that.
Yeah.
About the dating of these psalms, and
I would imagine that it's early because because Adonai Elohim is pretty common throughout. And I'm pretty sure that it continued into later Hebrew. So I think this is early. But when you date a text, you can't date it based on one thing. That's
No, sure, for sure.
right.
And okay,
I'm just thinking out loud.
right.
Yep.
All right, we're back to Netanel. This verse should be pretty familiar to us in English, right? I think they say, "Why so downcast, O my soul?" Right from the KJV, I think.
Right, and this is almost a verbatim repetition of what we said in chapter 42, where you have this recurring verse, both in verse 6 as well as in verse 12. Okay?
Before we go into it, Mari's made a statement. If you want to respond, it says, "I disagree with Netanel on what the accent does. I think both interpretations are allowed by the accentuation, but that's a novel theory of mine. Wink. I'm not sure how that reads into it. I shared some time ago on Nerdy Hebrew language majors group."
So I'm not completely disagreeing with you, disagreeing with me, in the sense that while the Tipecha is considered to be one of the kings, okay, it is not a very strong king. It's the least of the kings, and in the Yemenite tradition, they don't even stop for Tipecha really, as they would stop even for Zakif or something like that, because the Tipecha would appear as a king just before an emperor usually. And again, I don't. We just have the hour, so I hear you. And like I'm not that far from what you think, but I'm saying that the Tamim are leaning towards something. If I may present a more complicated or nuanced view.
I'll be right
I'm
back.
so bad with the Tamim in the Psalms. This looks like Mapach, but I don't know. I don't know if it has a different function in the Psalms because I'm not used to Mapach with Tipcha. What is this Mapach?
Yeah. In the tradition of Tamim, this I think they have in some cases different names, right? So yeah.
Okay.
Which one are you looking
Because also it's not sitting on the tone syllable.
Right.
Like it's
I
like
was
pre-tonic.
so focusing on the Tipcha here and
Yeah. This is Mapach, Tipcha, Munach, and Sof Pasuk, right?
right. So basically, it's a mapach also in the Tamei Emet, I think. But the focus is whether.
But obviously the phraseology is different. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. But I'm saying the question is here about the Tipcha and the Mirma.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. No, but just for my brain, I don't know. The mapach is normally with the katon phrase, like mapach pashtam munach katon.
Right. Mapach pashta usually, or yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Anyway.
Right.
Yeah, verse 5.
מה תשתוכחי נפשי ומה תהמי עלי, הוכי לי לאלוהים, כי עוד עודנו ישועות פניי ואלוהי. Right.
We did it in the chapters we've done recently. We had Ochili. We had in the PL.
Right.
Liachel.
Leyachel, right. That would.
And now it's Lochil in the Hifil.
Right, but we do have it we do have it both in standard biblical Hebrew already. It's not like unique to see this in the Hifil. Yeah, we have when Samuel is instructing Saul to wait for him or something like that. So, vayochel od lamoed or something like that. Okay, מה תשתוכחי נפשי ומה תהמי עלי. obviously this is a kind of a very common aspect in the psalm when the psalter is speaking to him, to his soul, to his nefesh, whatever nefesh. I think
Whatever
the
that
joke,
means.
right? The joke is that the whole purpose of the 𗥥𝗚𝗦𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗏, the Bible department of the Hebrew University, the whole purpose of that department is to show you that nefesh is not soul or something. Someone made a joke about it. Anyway, so matish tochachin nafshi here, obviously, it does represent the emotions or the self in that sense. Matish tochachi umatehemin alai tishtochachi is interesting. Right. Hishtocheach, shachoach, here can is to go low, shachoach, but here in more metaphorically, okay, to be dissolved in the context of nefesh, not literally, only metaphorically. And matehemi alai, this has this possibly an onomatopoeic origins for the word tehemi. Hum, make a hum, right sound. Vatehom kol ha'ir alehem, so to make a sound of wonder. Possibly that's the onomatopoeic basis for this verb. In the context here is why would you be sad? Okay, why would you be unhappy? Okay, hochili lelohim.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Sure.
Just for an announcement. We have the most viewers at one time that we've ever had. 13. Thank you.
13.
Thank you.
Okay, beautiful.
Now we have 10. Oh well, it's good while it lasts.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, so we'll have 15.
Right. So this hochili lelohim, yearn for God, expect God, wait for God. There is still hope, right? Hochili lelohim ki od odenu yeshuot panai velohai. I will yet still give thanks to Him. Okay. And remember, Jonathan read that in the previous verse, right? Odecha, I wish to give thanks to you. Okay, and here now he's kind of talking an inner discussion with himself, with his soul. I will yet indeed thank you for Yeshuot Panai Velohai, the salvations of my face, my presence, and God, Yeshuot Panai. Maybe the fact that I would get to see God, as in chapter 42, right? Because I think it corresponds with the beginning of chapter 42, so it's a little bit hard to talk about the last verse of 43 without talking about the first verse of 42, as we got a kind of an inclusio here, or not the first, but the first verses rather.
You might want to explain what an inclusio,
right?
you might want to explain what an inclusio is.
Oh,
for people that
inclusio
don't know.
is like a door that opens and shuts, kind of creating a structure that starts in a certain way and finishes in a corresponding way. So earlier in chapter 42, he says, when will I come to see the face of God? Penei Elohim, to be seen rather than see. Matai avo ve'era'eh penei Elohim. When will I get the chance to be seen in the presence of God, face of God? Okay, so now when we talk about Yeshuot Panai Velohai, okay, in the last verse of 43, when will I get, I believe that I will get the chance to give thanks to Him and be salvated by His presence, the presence of God, Yeshuot Panai Velohai.
Cool. Nice.
Excellent. All right.
Guys,
Is there anything that you want to bring in from chapter 42? Or maybe we'll just read again through 43 without translating. Read it slowly and clearly. Let everybody get to hear the verses before we call it an evening or a night. What do you think? Maria last time said that it was really beneficial to her whenever we read back through the chapter real quick.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
So let's read through the verses that we took when we started. So Nathaniel started with verse 1.
Yeah, I did. Do you want me to read again verse 1 or?
Yeah, read it kind of slowly and clearly, just for people to be able to hear it without translation, without any commentary.
Okay. שופטני אלוהים, וריבה ריבי, מגוי לא חסיד, מאיש מרמה ועוולה תפלטני.
Brilliant. Verse number 2 was me. כי אתה אלוהי מעוזי, למה זנחתני, למה קודר את הלך בלחץ אויב. Verse 3 was Colton.
שלח אורך ועמיתך המה ינחוני, יביאוני אל הר קודשך ואל משכנותיך.
All right. I would comment that we had 17 viewers just a second ago. That was fun.
Woo! Wow.
Amen.
We're taking off.
Verse
Tell your
4,
friends
Jonathan.
and family if they want to hang out and they don't mind not
Yes.
understanding. So,
Jonathan.
va'avoa el
Avoa.
sorry, I missed the accent. Va'avoa el mizbeach Elohim.
מזבח.
Okay, it's construct, mizbah.
Oh, oops. Mizbach. I didn't even know it. I never noticed that before.
In construct, mizbeach becomes mizbah.
Learn another thing new every day. So va'avoa el mizbach Elohim el simchat gili va'odcha kavin. I'm struggling with this word for some reason. V'chinor Elohim Elohai.
Yeah. Remember Kanal Alagad? Kanal? Is
Fiddler
it
on the
fiddler?
roof.
Yeah. Kino in modern Hebrew is a violin. But in the Bible, it's the one that you put on you, and it has strings like this, like a harp, but smaller. It's I think it's normally called a lyre.
A lyre,
L-Y-R-E.
Yeah.
Lyre?
Yeah, depending. When you're just depends. But yeah, we're saying the same thing. Yeah.
Right.
Jody's also a newcomer, and assuming Jody is a she, I'm not sure. It could be either. She's going to subscribe to this channel. Enjoys this type of teaching. Excellent.
It's fun.
Thank you.
We had a question from Prima Scriptura, which is Latin. Prima Scriptura. Question is from Psalm 2:7. Can you explain the Hebrew of the verse and the meaning of the word yelidaticha? Yelidaticha instead of yeladaticha. Well, we did read Psalm 1 and 2. It's in our videos. But basically it just means yaladati otcha. I fathered you or engendered you. I know it's normal for women to say that because a woman yoledet and not a man. But we do have the kal used of men having, reproducing their sons and daughters, even as far back as the book of Genesis. So it's not so odd, but it just means that I have produced you, I have fathered you, I have brought you into the world, something like that. It's not really too complicated. And then we have verse 5 back with Netanel.
מה תשתוכחי נפשי ומה תהמי עלי, הוכי לי לאלוהים, כי עודנו ישועות פניי ואלוהי.
Woohoo! All right.
I had a great time. Thank you for, doing this. It's beautiful.
Dude, you are a welcome contributor. We'll have you anytime you're available.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
So thank you for showing up. We're just going to run through these the comments real quick and see if there's anything we've missed, and then we're done. We're going to do wine green. I think it's exercise 33 today for those who are joining us in the next session.
I will be there.
Let's see.
I will be there for 20 minutes of the next session.
Oh my!
I'll be around.
What about you, Colton?
Asked
Colton, you're going to be there? Yay!
Somebody asked
so,
me to host a party for the DNC at my house.
And you told them I have social anxiety and I cannot do that. That's what I would say.
Social anxiety? Jason, come
I
on.
have social anxiety. I would not do it. All right, so it says, I'm a 66-year-old woman. My nickname is from my teenage years. I live in Tennessee. Fantastic. I'm from Missouri.
This was the best. This was the best session we've ever had as far as consistent and bigger numbers. Thank you, everyone.
Indeed.
Take care, Maury.
Rock says the word is like an instrument. The correct interpretation bring about sweet peace of mind. Not sure which word you mean. But
there's more than one
quinoa,
interpretation. More than one interpretation, and we're religiously neutral here, so please respect that.
Prima has just started to recognize the letters in Hebrew. Well, just come and listen. We read the letters a lot. And that looks like the last of the comments that were relevant for showing on the screen. Thank you, guys. I love you so much. נתנאל, מעריך את זה מאוד שהצטרפת. אני יודע שהשעה ממש מאוחרת.
Super fun. Thank you
למרות
very
הכל
much.
באת והוספת מלא לכל מה שעשינו היום.
I love it. I don't know that I'd be able to kind of attend regularly, but it was fun. And if I get the chance, or it was really serendipitous that I actually made it, because as I said, it's the middle of the night and it's not a teaching night for me. So yeah. Super fun.
Well, don't forget to come and see me. Bring me a Bible.
No, I told you, you have to meet my friend in order to get his Bible.
Set it up.
He's in Tel Aviv. Is 10 minutes from the hotel.
Yeah. So. Cool. All right. We're cutting over to Wine Green. For everybody who's joining us, remember the link is on Facebook. It's also through the YouTube channel, youtube.com/HebrewCafe under live streams. So join us, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
All right. See you, folks. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm very happy. Thank you, everyone.